I can see the stars align, dance around the moon every night. And now my eyes are open wide, and the sky has never looked so bright. And I don't need to see the road to believe, yeah. 'Cause this is where I'm meant to be, I believe. And I feel the magic everywhere. It's all around us, it's in the air. And I see the magic we can share. So much wonder everywhere. And I feel the magic, can you imagine, and I feel the magic, can you imagine, and I feel the magic, it's all around us, and I feel the magic, it's all around us. There's wonder on this winding road in front of me, yeah. 'Cause I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And I feel the magic everywhere. It's all around us, it's in the air. And I see the magic we can share. So much wonder everywhere. And I feel the magic, can you imagine, and I feel the magic, can you imagine, and I feel the magic, it's all around us, and I feel the.
Well, that cut it off just in mid-word. Feel the magic, it's all around us, and that it is. Good evening, good morning, whichever part of the world you're in. Michelle, hello, welcome. Michelle, you're first off the bat. I don't know where our other people are just yet. We must have got in a little bit early for them. And to all of our USA and UK viewers, good morning, a very early morning for you, and welcome to the day. Michelle, your day is almost finished, so I hope you've had a beautiful day. And I do believe tomorrow you have something very special to be enjoying. A bigger word than enjoying, tremendous excitement. It is tomorrow, isn't it, Michelle? Tomorrow's Wednesday. To those of you who are new and may come back and watch this after the live, I'm Gwenda, your host of Soul and Beyond. And on Soul and Beyond, we can never be too sure as to who will join us, meaning ascended masters, archangels, the angelic realm, elemental kingdom, all the beautiful, beautiful support realms that we have available to us in this life here, because like the song says, the magic is all around, and what we see around us just isn't all there is. Hi, Lisa, you're early tonight. Hi. Yeah, Michelle, me too. That'd be so exciting. When we're looking at the realms that are around us, it includes our loved ones that are not in this world but are still with us. You will hear from a lot of psychics and mediums that our loved ones remain with us for the rest of our lives. Well, I'd just like to put a little clause in there, because there's some interesting things that unfold with our loved ones when they move over. You know, you yourself may very well be back for another lifetime here. Well, that's what happens with your loved ones as well. So sometimes it seems like they're not around, and it's because they are on a different parallel lifetime, or they've completely moved somewhere else. Does that mean that we don't have the connection anymore? No, it doesn't. We are eternally interlinked. We are innately interlinked to every soul that is in the consciousness of God. So that's why sometimes it can seem like, I don't know, like there's repetition. You know, we have deja vu, we have times where we feel like we're home in another country and yet we weren't born there, we haven't been there, and we have this really powerful affinity with that place. And it's because most often we have been, or we could even be, living there in a different timeline to what we're in now. So the song that's played at the beginning, the magic that's all around us, there's a word in there as well, the mystery that life is. Now, one thing that is a mystery to a lot of people is their body. And when their body is not working the way they want it to, oh, don't they have some sharp words to say about their body? But the fact is, your body is a messenger. Your body also shows you whether you are in alignment with your soul or not, whether you're in alignment with your values or not. And two things that are absolutely crucial are you living in your truths? And are you living from a place of brutal honesty with yourself? Now, our topic tonight is about the sacred art of touch. So if you're wondering why I'm talking about how you sit in your body, it has everything to do with our topic. Hold on to your seats, or maybe hold on to your heart. I'm going to ask you as we go through our chat together tonight to place your hand on both your heart and your abdomen, because we're going to move through the sacred art of touch as conscious presence. Now, I'm going to roll back to what I said about the two vital things: honest and truth. When people have a really serious, what's deemed a really serious illness, they have a lot of time to look at their life and to see where perhaps they were not living their truth, being truthful about their relationship external to themselves, always first, and yet it should not be. It is the relationship with ourselves that should always be first. But we're not taught that, right? We're always taught to look externally, and there's a reason for that. When you come into the School of Wesh, the spiritual School of Wesh, you will learn what that reason is, and you'll understand more about why there is so much emphasis on everything that is external to you and to your body. Are you separate? Well, yeah, most people live very separately to their body. And that's why when they are diagnosed with something horrible, they're so shocked. Or if they're diagnosed and told they have to have some major surgery, there's always the questions of, where did that come from? Why is my body doing this, or why is my body doing that? I knew a person a long time ago that had a favourite saying, my back goes out more than I do. Well, if you have trouble with your back, then you would need to be having a look at how you support yourself in your life, and what is your attitude and your way of thinking about how other people support you, or what you think they should be supporting you on or with. Because your back is like the mast of a ship. It is your greatest support for your entire body. So if there is problems in your back, then the question is, where is support not happening for you in your life? And as I said, you will go external first, when in fact, if you had a look and really delved into your values, and are you living them? In comes truth and honesty, because most people do not live their values. Most people don't even know their values. And are they living truthfully? Do they shy away in their relationship to keep the peace, or maybe to bring peace, to stop there being arguments and blow-ups? And then they wonder why they've got digestive problems or irritable bowel, issues with food, putting weight on, keeping weight on, losing weight, keeping the weight off. All of these things are relative and relevant to your sacred connection to your physical body. Your physical body is the home of the essence of you. So whatever it is showing you is an opportunity for you to really have a look at where you are in yourself and where you are holding yourself from a place of really true integrity to your trust, to your values, and to your honesty. And then there is the other side of it, of issues in the body belonging to the past, where you have held on to some kind of angst, anger, resentment, frustration towards someone else, believing that they did you wrong. And maybe they did. Maybe they did not treat you well. But what were you doing there? And what did you do about that for yourself? You know, when I was all of 15 and a half and 16, leading through until I was 18, I did not know at the age of 15 and a half, 16, what to do when someone else told me that if I followed my dream, that they would take their life. As a young teenager, I had no idea how to manage that. But thankfully, I've always been very strong to my values, even before I knew what that word was, to my dream, to my heart. And when I left that person, they held true to their word, but it didn't work, because the first words out of their mouth was, now you have to come back. Because they held true to their word, but they were saved. So things from your past, if I had stayed in that relationship not knowing what I was going to do about someone who was threatening their life if I lived my dream, if I left them, I certainly wouldn't be able to sit here in front of you now, because at this age now, I would have some pretty awful illnesses. I could even be gone myself. I've seen it with women that are in abusive relationships. I've seen the damage that that does. And yet people persist and they stay. They stay because they are not aligned. They stay because they have not got enough love for themselves, an alignment with their values, even knowing their values, and they're not truthful and honest with themselves. Quite often what people do in relationships is forego themselves, leave out what is important to them, all in the name of peace, all in the name of the other person not leaving them, the other person wanting them. So these things are extremely important about your connection with your body and how the sacred art of touch becomes your healing mechanism for yourself. The sacred art of touch in conscious presence that allows you to step into a field, a magical field of healing. And why? Because it allows your soul to step forward. It allows your nervous system to calibrate and function calmly. It takes you out of flight and fright, where you have excessive cortisol and adrenaline being released. But you see, there are steps to get there, right? Honesty to yourself, knowing your truth, your values, and your relationship with your body. Nothing that your body does is incidental or accidental. Everything that your body expresses is because there's something that needs to be expressed. But are you brave enough? Are you courageous enough? Do you have enough confidence to listen, to feel? So when we're looking at something that is incredibly magical, incredibly powerful, it's all going to come home to roost with you, because you are the starting and the end point. It does not matter what anyone else is doing in your life. It matters how you respond and how your body responds. Quite often, even as I've been chatting to you now, your body will be responding, because somewhere in your energetic fields, you are holding on to stuff that's taken place in your life, and it's being sent out through your body in different ways. Without you realizing, you could very easily have been holding your breath. Your pupils will have dilated and constricted, and you will have no idea that they've done that. Until all of a sudden you take a really big breath, or you might even take your glasses off and rub your eyes or roll your eyes. Your body is a miraculous, incredible piece of creation. But what is it that powers your body? Anybody? What is it that powers your body? Tell me. Sometimes, there are some really interesting people that arrive. Good evening, Cat Gray. Welcome. Marie, hello. Welcome to you. Just having a look at a few interesting comments and filtering out, shall we say. Good evening, Jackie, Kristen. You're late. You're late, she says. Let me have a look here and make sure that your soul. Cat Gray, yes, it is your soul that powers your body. But what else is there? What is it that powers your body tremendously? When you're sitting in a bus, you have the bus driver. Where do most of it used to be said, the naughty kids sit? Where do they sit in a bus? I don't know if that's, allowed these days, but where do the naughty kids sit? And what used to happen, I believe it actually still does happen, in a classroom, if a child is disruptive, where do they get sent? Outside, right? Closest to the driver. Isaiah, that's different. Most often the naughty kids sit at the back. The teacher sits closest to the driver. They're the ones that usually should sit with the naughty kids, hey? No, Jackie. So when we're looking at what drives your body, Cat Gray said the soul. Well, yes, the eternal essence of you is what the body is home to for this lifetime. However, when you are living a life that is framed around societal expectations, familiar, as in family expectations, your own expectations and judgments of yourself, how you feel about where you fit, you know, the layers on top of the soul are getting deeper and thicker. Now the soul is way at the back of the bus, and all those seats in front are filled with the false layers of who you have become over the years. Now the body is weighed down. The body becomes very tight, inflamed, diseased because of all these layers, and they're deep. If we were to peel those away and there was only the essence, as Kat said, the soul, what would you look like? How would you feel? What would your energy be like? You know, people say they want more vitality in their life. Then my answer is go and talk to your soul and see what your soul wants you to do. Your soul did not come here to be weighted down, to be right at the back of the bus while every other seat is full of layers of heaviness and deep issues. So when we want to come into the art of sacred touch through conscious presence, this goes into healing. This is where you become in alignment, you tune in to the power, to the incredible, amazing healing ability of your soul. It's where everything breathes. It's where the central nervous system relaxes. And it's where the body is able to let go. When you do this, when you use touch as your sacred art of healing through conscious presence, you'll be amazed what shifts, how much vitality, how much clarity, how much you can move with ease. Anything that is restricted in your body will let go. If you have troubles in your joints, you will find that there's more fluidity and flow, and you can get up and move around with ease. So when we're looking at touch as a sacred language, it's sacred because it becomes the conscious presence of your soul. And when you are in conscious presence of your soul, magic happens. You will have an incredible, amazing sense of energy that runs through you. If I took this up to a higher level, I would talk to you about Kundalini. But that is a whole other sphere, incredible energy. And why I gave you the example is because it's a reminder that everything that you are beyond the body is a powerful energy, and it is that energy that you want to be running and powering your physical body. How do you get there? Well, the art of sacred touch is a very good starting point. It's a way that you can begin to connect and let your emotional body rest. Let the emotional body release, let go of things that have been carried for years, decades, sometimes even a lifetime ago. So when you're looking at using touch, in your fingers, in your fingertips, there are dozens of energy points. There are nadis, as are called in yoga and the yogic teachings, and simply by putting your fingertips together, you bring these nadis, you bring these beautiful entry points alive. By taking hold of the fleshy part here and pushing around and massaging gently, by massaging the base of each of your fingers and right in the center, you start to bring energy from the soul into your organs. By taking a hold of your thumb and squeezing each side for 30 seconds and then holding and releasing, you'll be amazed at the shift in your energy. By doing mudras, and we teach these in the spiritual school of Wesh, doing the mudras brings alive more of the energy centers, and it brings you into attunement with your soul. Now you can start to begin to bring in that powerful energy, and then you start to heal. If we're looking at the mental body, which of course comes from the thoughts, and I was mentioning before, societal expectations, family expectations, your own judgments on yourself, the things you've carried with you since childhood, they're not only layered in the emotional body, they are layered in the mental body. And this is where the mind gets to take control, because now the soul is way up the back of the bus, and those seats in front have got even more layers, more depth, more baggage on them from the mental body. This is where the mind goes into overthinking, being overwhelmed, steps into anxiety, creates scenarios that have not happened, that are not real, and yet the mind will paint them as they are going to be. Now we have moved right away from being able to be in tune with the soul and the powerful, powerful healing of touch. Quite often when we are burdened by the mind and emotional responses, reactivity, we actually do not want to be touched. And why is that? Because everything on the body is in a state of shock, of fear, of defensive protection. And for a lot of people, they actually can't bear to be touched because it will feel like they are receiving pain. It's not the pain coming from another person. It is their own pain, because remember, everything begins and ends with you. So if we're looking at ways to bring sacred touch in for yourself around the mental body, then you can go to areas around the eyes, and the sinuses are here. You can go up the top here where there are more sinuses, And the most beautiful thing you can do for the mental body and the mind is to give yourself a loving head massage. Now, if you go to your ears and you pull on the lobes gently, don't try and extend them down to your shoulders. If you pull on the lobes gently and then massage around up the ears, and then go into the inside of the ear, this one, go into the inside of the ear and put your finger just inside and press in there just a few times and breathe. Close your eyes. Let yourself feel into what happens when you do that. You see, the ear is the same shape as being the fetus, when the fetus is in the womb. And all of the energy points that are around the ear are, of course, correlated to the body. The other part that you can really massage beautifully is down the base of the skull, around the axis of the neck, because there is the most powerful portal or chakra, if you want to call it that, but a portal of energy. And that is where you can bring in from your highest self, you can bring in that incredible energy and you can run it through your body. Tony, good morning and welcome. Thank you. And to you, beautiful spirit. So when you're looking at using the sacred art of touch in conscious presence, it means first for you to be very conscious of where you are in yourself. What I'd like you to do now is to take a few lovely breaths. Let yourself sit with your feet gently on the floor, but we're going to earth them so they're gentle on the floor. You don't have to feel like you're driving them through the floor, but you're going to let them sit gently so they're connecting. And you're going to imagine that you are connecting out in the ocean or in a beautiful big forest, anywhere earthed, anywhere that you connect your feet to the earth. And you're going to elongate your spine, which means that if you've been sitting hunched over or you're laying down, you're going to elongate your spine and give space in your spine. Already your body is like, oh, what's happening? And it's starting to expand. Not your body expanding, energy is expanding. Already through those two simple things, you have increased the oxygen through your blood flow of the body. How simple was that? Now, what I'd like you to do now is to think of your heart. You can place your right hand over your heart, your left hand on top, and softly close your eyes down. And let your eyes look down towards your heart. I'm going to ask you to take 4 breaths, and as you do, you're going to ask yourself, what do I carry in my heart? Right at this moment, what do I carry in my heart? And as you are asking that, take a longer breath, gentle but deep. And as you exhale it, let the word come. You can softly take your hands away and shake them out. And now you're going to place a hand either side of your head, just in line with the ears. Close your eyes down again. Take those 3 long, gentle breaths. Let yourself feel into that space around your head. And as you breathe again, ask, what is it that sits heaviest in my head? Take those 3 breaths. And on the third breath, let the word come. Now I see tears. I also see resistance. And that's okay. It's where you are. Let yourself breathe. Shake your hands off. And then one last part of the body. You're going to choose a place to put your hands. Right hand on top, right hand first, left hand on top of right, and wherever you like. So if the back of your body is where you want to go, place your hands there. Take those breaths. And then on the third breath, ask yourself, what is it that sits in here? What is it that needs my attention in this part of my body? Some of you may feel that you are getting quite hot in your hands, and that is great. That shows that there is a beautiful energy running through you, that there is a lovely connection. It also shows that you can be a healer if you wanted to be, and if that's what your calling is. When you've taken that breath, release your hands and shake them off. Now, take beautiful long breaths. And if you feel like you want to sigh, sigh. If you feel you want to just push the breath out through your mouth, do that. And otherwise, breathe in and breathe out through your nose. And then I'm going to ask you to play the piano on each of your fingers. So you're just going to tap each finger onto your thumb. Just tap them, each finger onto the thumb. It doesn't matter which way you go, whether you start at the little finger, the ring, it doesn't matter. Just tap each finger onto the thumb. And then I want you to choose one where you hold it. And you're just going to hold that place of the mudra. Straighten your other fingers if you can. And then release it and let go. You do not need to know why. That is your mind. And the mind can have a rest for a moment. Simply let it be. Let yourself feel into the touch. True body work, using touch as your sacredness through conscious presence, is not something you do to the body. It is something you enter into, because you are entering into sacred energy spaces. You are entering into the sacredness of the soul. Now your body can really let go, relax, and breathe. And every organ in your body, every system in your body can breathe and expand. And as soon as the organs and the systems in your body expand, so does your energy. So does your vitality, your sense of clarity, your ability to find solutions to something that you've been trudging over in your mind. Now the soul has come forward in the bus and it is ready to be the driver. Are you willing to let it be the driver? Or are you going to hold on to that steering wheel and make your soul stand there and wait? And wait. Always your choice. It's called free will. When you practice the sacred art of touch with conscious presence, integrity, and intention, you heal. You heal on every level of your physical being, and you bring your soul forward, and you will hear the messages. You will hear what it is that your body is screaming at you to say. Could we have a look at this? Could we let go of this? Could we make some more space in here, please? Because when the body is contracted, when the body has dis-ease and is really being suffocated, then we have no peace. We have no calm, vitality, and we cannot find clarity. The two things, your two keys, honesty, honest with yourself about yourself, what you say about you, what you think about you, and your truth. What is your truth? What is your truth about your life? Work on those two things, and you will find that you will start to touch your body in a different way. You will find that touch will bring new sensations, because that's where something has been let go. That's where the body has finally got some breathing space. And there is more circulation, more energy. This is really powerful, simple stuff. It's up to you how you want to use it. And the really big thing here is that sacred bodywork begins long before the touch. It begins with what we say about ourselves, what we think when we look at our body, what we say when we get dressed in something that we feel doesn't flatter us or makes us look too big. The sacred bodywork begins long before the touch stops. Bring touch back in with loving presence, conscious presence, and watch your life change. Watch everything change so much. Every aspect of your life will change. It's simply amazing. Bring this in as a daily practice for yourself and say, I am sitting in sacred time through touch with my soul. And watch your life flourish. Watch your weight become just what you want it to be. Your body responds to everything you think, everything you say, long before it responds to what you eat. Now, we could go into that another time, because yes, what you eat affects your body, and what you choose to eat is because of your thoughts and your emotions. But for tonight, we were talking about the art, the sacred art of touch through conscious presence. How are you all feeling? Let me have a look here. Drive motivation up the front of the bars. Love. Oh, beautiful, Lisa. That's pretty cool, yeah. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Glad you're enjoying it. And Tony, I'm going to ask you to say, my heart is full of pure love. You see, the word unconditional is not something the soul understands. The mind understands. But if you want to speak with your soul, use whole words. And God doesn't use the term unconditional. That is something that came from the churches. He speaks only of love, eternal love, expansive love, sacred love. So, Tony, say, my heart is full of pure love. pure divine love if you want to give it a little bit more kick. Yes, Jackie, I know you are willing to let your soul be the driver. Vicky Price, hello. Oh, how lovely. What a lovely surprise. And thank you. That's a really beautiful compliment. Thank you. And Tony, oh, I'm so glad you've enjoyed our topic tonight. It's really lovely. Kristen, relaxed and open. Very good. Very good. You're most welcome, Lisa. Ah, yes, Tony. Heart is full of pure divine love. Now, for you, for everyone, I want you to say, if you can say it out loud, say it out loud. My heart is full of unconditional self-love. And listen to yourself and then say, my heart is full of pure divine love. And listen to the way it comes out and listen to what you feel. Yes, listen to what you feel. Good play on words, isn't it? Ah, beautiful cat. Beautiful. Ah, flowing, yeah. Have you done that? And I'm going to ask you to practice that. Practice speaking with the words that are whole words, that are strong, that are bold, that speak from your soul, that speak to your soul. Your language, when you speak soul language, you shift the vibration, you shift the frequency in your entire physical self. And that, of course, ripples out into all of your sacred fields of energy. You can shift your mental energy just through the words that you use. And you can practice it. You can feel the difference. What a wonderful time with you this evening. This morning in Tony's case, what a wonderful time. So as I leave you tonight, this morning, remember your hands. Remember to work with your hands. Remember to be soft as you work with your body. Your soul is extremely powerful, but it is not harsh. It has an expansive energy that is pure love. What would that feel like? Woo, pretty awesome. And you know what? When you have this beautiful flow of sacred energy coming forward through your touch, trauma does not need to be dug up. You know why? Because it will be healed without you even realizing, until you go about your day and find, wow, I moved through that with a whole different energy. And people were so different to me, towards me. And then you will take a moment to place your hand on your heart and find how very peaceful it feels within. Yes, unifying love. Divine union, Tony, divine union. Your body speaks constantly. And the one thing I want to leave you with tonight, today, is for you to listen. For you to not just be the driver of that bus with your soul sitting at the very back, but for you to invite your soul forward through touch, through connection, through breath, and sense your body. Let your body be the incredible messenger of the soul that it is. Two things: honesty to yourself about your life, your truth, and watch your life change exponentially. God bless everyone. God bless you, and may you have a most divinely gracious love around you, through you, emanating from your very own soul. And I look forward to seeing you, I think, next week. You're welcome, Michelle. Hope you enjoyed that too. It's a pleasure, Lisa. Glad you enjoyed it. Kristen, much love, everyone. Love to you, and you. And a special thanks to you for being here, and a very loving hello and thanks to Vicky Price. Bye for now.